In today's episode, the special edition Mini Sky and Rose. Hello and welcome back to Quarterlight. If you're new to the show, Quarterlight is a car brochure channel, so we look at car brochures from around the world, like this one. We've been looking at a full range brochure for Rover cars for 1989. I have discovered in the back there's lots of Mini special editions at this time. Strange that they have so many special editions for Mini, but I think Mini always kind of like suited the special editions, and I'm sure there were lots and lots of special editions. I don't know how many, but certainly a lot. Last week we looked at this one for the very special Mini 30 special edition, celebrating 30 years, and this was quite a luxurious Mini. They really just threw everything at it to celebrate 30 years. Well, this one's a little bit different. Well, in fact, as we saw at the start, it's actually part of two special editions. The Mini Sky and Rose. Here's your Sky and there's your Rose. From a distance they look like exactly the same thing because they come in just one colour, white. The difference of course is we've got sort of a sky blue roof on the Mini Sky, blue sort of tape stripe and a blue decal at the back, and then on the Mini Rose we've got a pinky reddy coloured stripe going down the side, and actually quite a nice shade of pink for the roof. I quite like both of them, although of course they're not in the same sort of high spec as the Mini 30, but no doubt these were a lot more affordable and still made rather a nice special edition. Now this particular episode isn't particularly going to be a very long episode actually, because unlike the Mini 30, which had 4 pages to actually have a look at, this has only got these 2 pages, so like I say, possibly not seen as special, but unusual to have so many special editions. And then next week there's going to be another pair of special editions, so 5 special edition minis in this brochure, which sounds a little bit crazy. But anyway, we'll start by having a look at the text, which is on this very short amount here, so it's not going to take too long. Then we'll come back to these nice images. So the heading for this one is obviously Mini Sky and Rose. It tells us, you set fashions, you don't follow them, and it shows in the clothes you wear, the friends you choose, and the car you drive. A car that's got a chic all its own and a cheek like no other. The Mini Sky, white with a blue as cool as you are. The Mini Rose in the pink of style, and both just as special inside, with unique crayons seat fabrics and complimentary door trim. Finished off with a stereo radio cassette player to keep you entertained between parties. Mini, inimitable as always. Then moving over to the tiny little images, we can see the little side decal for the Mini Sky. Unusual little decal, but I think I quite like it. I look at the standard Philips stereo radio cassette player, which actually is quite nice to throw in a Mini. And then the interior, we can certainly see it's not to the high levels as the Mini 30, which really went out of its way to be as luxurious as possible really for the time, but still rather nice seats, I think. And then door cards, we can see they kind of like fall short of the full length and show the body colour in there. Nice head restraints though, aren't they? This one's even showing some rear seat belts in there as well. And then the car itself, great if you like the colour white, because we've really only got a different coloured roof, but still interesting. So we get these white full fit wheel trims. Little tape stripes going to be blue, as this is the Mini Sky. We do have black bumpers on this one, where the Mini 30 had those sort of bright finish bumpers. So this is certainly a lot more ordinary, but still I do quite like it. There is something about it. There's that decal there we can just about make out at the rear. And then the roof in that rather attractive shade of blue. Now moving on to the Rose. So everything the same, except we've got like a pink looking tape stripe going down to a rose decal in this, well, it looks a little bit red actually, doesn't it? A reddy pink colour. And then on the roof, of course, the big difference is the pink roof. It's possibly a little bit hard to show you on camera, but it's actually not a bad shade of pink actually. I could live with that. I could quite happily drive that car. It's not like a bright, shocking pink. It's quite an attractive shade actually. And then the typical front end, which is going to be same as your Sky. Notice we've just got a little mini badge or mini name badge on the grille now. Rover's taken over, so we don't have like an Austin badge or an Austin Rover badge. Purely mini now, as they've tried to get rid of the Austin name, Rover, sadly, I think. One thing I've just pulled the camera back and just noticed, certainly an omission there, that you actually don't have a door mirror on the passenger side. We've just got one single door mirror on the driver's side. Certainly that wouldn't have been that unusual in the 70s and even into the early 80s, but this is the late 80s. That seems to be quite a big omission on this special edition and a bit stingy in some ways. Well, we could have thrown another black door mirror on there, surely. Anyway, let's just have a quick look at a tiny bit of the specs. Quick look at the engine and transmission. So all the Minis at this time are using a 4-cylinder Transverse OHV 998cc 41 PS at 5250 RPM. So all the Minis at this time are using that. This is the days before the original Mini Cooper. Well, not original, because they obviously had a Mini Cooper before the newer Mini Cooper, before the BMW Mini, if that makes sense. But yeah, they're all using the 998cc engine at this time, all using a 4-speed all synchromesh gearbox. And yeah, you can say it's quite late to have a 4-speed, but nevertheless, this is a Mini. Optional 4-speed automatic on everything actually, apart from the car that we looked at today, the Sky and the Rose. And there's another special edition next week which also couldn't have that 4-speed also, but the special edition we looked at last week did have the automatic option on that fancy Mini 30. So there we go, the little Mini Sky and Rose, quite a nice little special edition, probably lost within the hundreds of other Mini special editions, so probably a little bit forgotten. But did you own one? That would be interesting to hear. Do you remember them? Please jot it in the comments. Always interested in hearing any of your comments, even if it's just generally Mini related. I read every one. Try to comment as much as I can. Sometimes I don't get time to comment on every comment, but I do appreciate them all, and certainly I do read, and usually I'm amused by some of your tales. So there we go. Thank you so much for watching today. Please don't forget to subscribe. It is all completely free. Helps you keep you in touch with the channel and ring that little bell as well. But like I say, thank you for watching today. I'll pop a box up in there which will be for the full brochure actually, so it'll show the special editions you may have missed and the other episodes in this 1989 Rover full brochure. But like I say, thank you so much for watching. Please do take care. We'll see you very soon. All the best and goodbye.